I'll take you buffalo hunting.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'll do something like that.
Don't do that. You might get them eaten by crocodiles. You fucking psycho.
Oh, shit. They're bad too at the moment.
Are they bad in Australia?
Yeah, they just seem to be more regularly everywhere.
Yeah. Are you allowed to hunt them there? Or are they protected?
I think you can get a permit.
Isn't that funny? You just shoot deer out of a helicopter, but these fucking monsters that eat kids.
Tell me about it.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So it was about 12 years ago now. We went into a community, so like an Aboriginal community, and they had kids taken, right? And that's their only water source, and they had kids taken out of that water source. Pretty sad.
That just drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I just don't understand that. Kill those fucking things.
So
I'm not saying kill all of them.
Yeah.
But kill everyone that's around people.
Management, right?
Jim Shockey was on the podcast a while back, and he was telling a story about how they had actually hired him to go to Africa to hunt crocodiles because there were so many crocodiles that were taking people in this village, and they would set up stakes in the water so that the crocodiles couldn't go through the stakes to get to them, but they figured a way around the stakes. And this woman, while he was there, was washing clothes, and she got jacked.
Wow.
Yeah, he said everyone there was like missing a hand, bite taken out of your leg. Yeah. He said it was just an epidemic.
And that's like their everyday life. It's nuts, isn't it?
These are big, 18-foot, 19-foot crocs. Like just
scared of nothing. Everyone's food.
Yeah. Just giant African crocodiles, which are just the most terrifying animal in the world to me.
Yeah.
Because they could lay there underwater and you don't even know they're there. And they jump up and get you.
Yeah.
And they're so fast.
Oh, they're so prehistoric, eh?
Fuck those things.
But like, so that croc's probably never seen a person before.
Probably.
And there's nothing else getting around there that's walking upright like a human. But I was still food. I was still on the menu.
Everything's on the menu.
Completely on the menu. Yeah. Whereas if you see a lot of other animals in nature that have never seen a person.
You're not on the menu.
No, you're so foreign that they just want to get the fuck out of there.
Right.
And he could have sunk down and turned around and sunk into that water. I would never know that he was there. But instead he's like, fuck, food, sweet. Let's have a crack, you know. Yeah. So, but that seems more common at the moment. I don't know why, if the population's getting too high, but you used to get around and see like a salty or two every now and then, a saltwater crocodile every now and then, but nearly like hard to find, you know, certain river systems not, but like tucked away water like that. Whereas now it's just like every fucking waterhole's got a croc in it. Ugh. So we just bought a property up in the Northern Territory of Australia, and it's got a beautiful big lagoon on it. And Kimmy's like, oh, fuck, that's going to be sweet for swimming. I'm like, that's the wrong state of Australia, you know, because the top of Western Australia and all of Northern Territory and the top of Queensland, that's where the crocs are. Saltwater crocodiles are in that district.
And they're deep inland.
Yeah, they can be. Yeah. So, and this property that we've purchased is inland as well. But they get pushed in there, like the Northern Territory will have a big wet season, water will rise, like over the top of the land and everything like that, water will rise, and those big salties can move into a little water hole where they've never been before. So you might have a property and being like, nah, this water's sweet, and then the next year there's a big salty in there.
And they can go for a year without eating.
They'd be freaking desperate if they did. Like, you're definitely on the menu if they do that.
But, I mean, that's just an extraordinary animal.
Yeah.
I mean, evolution just has honed those motherfuckers to a razor's edge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I told you about the story where, like, I shoot a big boar pig and, like, the arrow zips through it and it just dropped over onto the riverbank. And I walked over there with another arrow just to see if I had to follow it up. And so I walked up and, like, I'm at, like, a meter above it. Anyway, it was just on the side of the water, like, not in the water, just on the side of the water. And it was just, like, in the final stages of its life. And I looked down and put the second arrow away, like it doesn't need another arrow, it's sweet. And I looked down and put the second arrow away and just heard the water erupt. And this big saltwater crocodile come out, grabbed it. I could still see it in slow-mo. Grabbed this pig, like threw it over in the water and then started swimming away with it and actually took, and it was a big boar pig, actually took it underwater for like 30, 40 yards and then come back up with it. And then another big salty was trying to get it off that saltwater crocodile. Now, if that pig was already dead, I would have just jumped straight down the the bank, and I would have been right in the line of fire.
Oh, boy.
You know,
and
it's like,
two of them there.
That's how quick it happens, dude, you know, and it's just like, they're just sitting there waiting. I Another trip. I love these crocodile stories because they're so
fucking hate
fucked
them.
up.
They make my skin crawl.
Me and Kimmy did like 120 kilometers across like inland Northern Territory. Kimmy really enjoyed that trip because all you had to worry about every day was water, food, where you're going to camp. But with water comes fucking crocodiles because you have to go down and collect the water. Like, and I'm like, you stay back here and I'll race down, watch the bank where I fill the water up at. So anyway, I race down there, I scoop up the water. I'm halfway back up the bank, like way away from the water though. And Kim's like, look behind you. And I turn around behind me and big saltwater crocodile eyes come up straight behind me. They're probably looking at you the whole time, you know, but you just can't see them. But during the day, there's like, you can't see a croc, and then you shine a torch in a water hole at night and there's just eyes everywhere.
Do you feel safe in a tent?
Yeah, because they'll only come so far up the banks. That's really uncomfortable, but generally you're 100 yards up the bank. They won't come that far unless they're really desperate. So I had a buddy tell me that he'd had crocs travel 200-300 yards up a bank and they took his dogs off a chain. Like they actually ripped the dogs off the chain where they were locked up. I was trying to debunk the myth of saltwater crocodiles and freshwater crocodiles won't live in the same body of water. You know, and that's so that people are like, oh, if you see freshwater crocodiles, there's no saltwater crocodiles. Well, I know that's bullshit. And
Is a freshwater crocodile smaller?
They're smaller. They're not aggressive like that. They can be territorial. They won't eat us, for starters. So a freshie might bite you, but he'll let you go, whereas a salty will bite you and hold onto you and fucking eat you, you know? And then so I'm going around with this torch and I'm seeing all these freshies, freshwater crocodiles everywhere. And then I hear something moving up, like there's sort of rapids below me, and I hear something moving through the water, and I'm like, oh, no, that's not a fucking freshie. And I turn around and start walking down there and shine the torch, and it's a big salty, and he's like coming straight up the water towards me. And so fucking, they do coexist with each other. So if you see a freshie, don't think you're safe and jump in for a swim. There could be a bloody salty in there too. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Fuck
There's
that.
a place called Car Hills Crossing up in the Northern Territory. And there's so many saltwater crocodiles on that crossing. And people come unstuck there all the time because it's tidal, right? So they'll try and drive across there with a car and their car will get washed off and they've got to swim back to the bank with all these crocodiles in the water. So it's pretty sketchy. But I still feel like Australia's safer than hunting bloody Wyoming or somewhere, or
With
Montana
grizzlies.
because of the grizzlies. And they're actually on land and can come to your tent anytime they like.
Yeah.